All right. We got Titan Tuesday, Titan Medical in the house, Big Johnny, rock and rolling. We got the Joker behind you.
Sir.
That's right.
What's he holding in his hand? Is that Batman's head?
He's holding Batman's mask.
Dang.
That's what he's doing. Yeah. I mean, you're either die a hero or you live to see yourself see the villain.
It's a great quote. It's a great quote.
It's
What,
the
Mona,
best
what
line.
question do you
It's the
have?
best line
Are you
of that
starting
whole
this off?
movie. It's
Was
dope,
that
man.
was that him from the? Was that
from-
Heath
from
Ledger?
Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Nolan's brother wrote that line. Christopher Nolan still to this day is upset about it. He's like, he wrote the best line in any of my movies.
And his brother.
It didn't come from me. It came from my brother. Super cool. Super cool. I mean, quotes like that, though. It's true.
Big Johnny.
Live long enough.
What's going
You
on?
either
All
die a
right.
hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yeah.
That's the line.
What's going on in Titan Medical this week?
Woo! So we got it going on this week. So there's $50 off any of the growth hormone releasing hormone peptide therapies. It's anything. So it could be the Titan Transformation Stack. It could be regular testosterone. It could be hexarelin. It could be CJC 1295 with ipamorelin. It could be MK677. It could be masterelin. So all these are different growth hormone releasing hormone peptides I just named. And what these things will do is basically ramp up your growth hormone, your natural growth hormone levels in your body to produce, and at that point, raise your IGF-1 and give you all the benefits of anti-aging, skin elasticity, recovery, repair, better sleep. I mean, there's so many different benefits. I mean, this is the anti-aging factor. When you talk about anti-aging and stuff like that, or true longevity, even hormone replacement therapy, when we use that we should really talk about utilizing one, hormones if you're going to do hormone replacement therapy, and two, some sort of growth releasing hormone support, whether that be one of the peptides, or if you're really in need or in that and you're taking growth hormone, that's a whole different story. But having one of these, pairing these things up, because if you really need TRT or HRT and you're on the older end of the stick, or you're starting to get up there, you're starting to rise, right, past 30s, even 30-year-olds, but past 30s, then we really want to start looking at growth hormone levels too as well. Because yes, testosterone, if you have low testosterone, that's a major role. We want to make sure estrogen and progesterone, all these things are in check. But we really want to look at growth hormone levels too as well, because if your hormones are dialed in outside of your growth hormone levels, then at that point, like, you're only feeling so good, and you might not be getting the best benefit from everything that we're doing here. And that's when you really pair it up and you optimize all those different hormones. You're not leaving anything behind per se, right? We're really looking at things and saying, hey, listen, if you're medically healthy and medical history says that you're a candidate and you can do something like this, it's definitely going to be a benefit for somebody out there. Whether it be longevity, energy, recovery, like I said, any of the anti-aging benefits that you could list, this is going to come with it. So not only will you get the benefits of all the hormones that you're doing, but you'll actually slow down the aging process, and that's really what you want to do. So if you can slow that down, you can look better for longer, you can live longer, a better quality of life, then this is something that would add the mix.
Somebody was. I read an article yesterday that tesamorelin is the number one IGF. For most doctors' opinions, even better than MK or anything else.
Because when you
number
talk
one?
about tesamorelin has an FDA approved commercial product. That means clinical status and data is behind it. It's been proven to do these things. So when we talk about that, like, it definitely raises growth hormone levels higher than any of the GHRPs. Maybe MK, I would say, might be a borderline. Hexarelin's a really good one too when it starts talking about those levels, because that's what I'll go by. I'm like, all right, well, where do IGF-1 levels come back as, right? And it definitely dominates. But the other portion that it dominates and that the others do not do is attacking the visceral belly fat. It's like, it's so crazy, I mean, that's like the major benefit. Even in weight loss, when we talk about weight loss, you talk about losing weight all over, but that doesn't mean that you're going to lose a whole bunch of visceral belly fat. And sometimes you will, sometimes you won't, depending on how much weight you're losing and what you're doing. But at that point, if you can attack that, that's a game changer. That is a game changer because nothing else out there. I mean, there might be one or two like HIV cocktail drugs that do it, but that's not raising growth hormone levels like testosterone. So it definitely has a two pronged benefit there, and it dominates because of that. I
And
pick testosterone over anything. If anybody said, "Hey, what GHRP what do you think is the best?" Like the best, and I would say that's the best. Now, if you said, "I need to stimulate hunger," then MK is going to be the best. So I think that they all have a little bit of a purpose, but if you got to pick the true winner, then testosterone is the winner.
Johnny, you correct me if I'm wrong. Does Titan Medical have a blend with testosterone in it?
Yes, yes, yes. So that's something that we're all on. I think Titan Transformation Blend is the ultimate blend with testosterone, ipamorelin, MOTS-c, and AOD. So not only are you getting testosterone, which is a superstar by itself, but you kind of get an all-star cast here. Because at that point, you got ipamorelin, which is going to help stimulate the pulse more of your natural growth hormone. So it's just helping testosterone. So you got two guys really working at raising those growth hormone levels, like we talked about, which is great. Then the visceral belly fat getting attacked, and then we got AOD, which is doing that too as well. You're leaning up, you're hitting visceral belly fat. That's great. And then you have MOTS-c, which is mitochondria, and like basically ramping up your metabolism to think it's exercising at that point. And you are literally like at that point you're leaning out, you're probably building some lean muscle mass, you're getting the anti-aging effect. It's the all-star combination. It is what I'm taking. It is the best of the best. You can add some more testosterone or some more MOTS-c into it if you really wanted to, but it is your daily dose of those four. So not only are you getting just one injection and getting four different peptides in that injection, but you're getting a plethora, a massive amount of benefits from those four.
Um, we'll get to this question in a second. Not yet, because I just kind of want to go over. So it's the MOX-C, so that's stimulating the body to think it's actually exercising. The
Yeah.
IGF stimulation you got there. You got the AOD, another body fat burner.
Yep.
It's like it's such an amazing combination. So you're just recovery,
Yep.
body fat burning, and
Yep.
exercise in a bottle.
Yep. It's super cool. I mean, if you can have that combination, it's definitely the way to go. That's why I call it Titan Transformation, because everybody gets on it. It's definitely transforming.
Yep.
They are transforming. They're
So you
looking
guys-
better and feeling better. Not having to put in more work either. So it's just crazy how that works.
Right over at Titan Medical, you guys can get that. And then we'll jump into this one here. What do we got here? Just started judo.
Kokodan Judo. Did I say that right? Kodokan.
Kodokan. What Jeffrey?
Just started Kodokan Judo. Any tips on strength and flexibility?
Yeah, I would use the range of motion when you're in the gym, but then as they're working you through the motions, flexible knees, baby, flexible knees. You'll be doing a lot of squats. So, yeah, I don't do any extra stretching except for my training with weights. The range of motion I do. John, what do you think about exercising or any martial arts and flexibility?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, martial arts are awesome, and at that point, like strength and flexibility. So I mean, obviously, you're working out in the gym and stuff like that. You're building your strength like that too as well. So not only are you going to get it from your lessons, but you're going to get it when you're going to work out and exercise yourself. So I think this is really key. I think range of motion is really key too as well, and keeping the range of motion. So I'm not a big stretching guy or whatever, but I do believe that you need some stretching afterwards, maybe for some flexibility as you get older. If you're doing it in class, that's one thing, but in the gym afterwards too as well. Getting the blood flow in there and getting it moving the body part or whatever a little bit. I think that's definitely a plus.
Ready for that one?
On clomiphene for fertility and low test, 36-year-old male. Test was down to 126. Do I need to stay on the rest of my life? Yes, trying to have kids. Okay, so you're at 126. You're clinically deficient. You're 36 years old. You want to still have kids. All understandable, but this sucks at 36 years old that you're down to that level. What can you do about it? Now, I would go in clomiphene and not clomiphene, but in clomiphene. Same family, one molecule difference, but it's a total difference in side effects. Um, I would take enclomiphene if you want to do that and try to raise the number. But here's the thing: you're only going to keep that number up as long as you're on the enclomiphene. Once you stop the enclomiphene, it's going to go down. The clomiphene will ignite the signal from the brain to the testicles, igniting more testosterone and more semen. So it's good for fertility, yes. But if you really want the true, real deal and you want to feel good for the rest of your life, you're going to have to do something to substitute to get the levels to where they need to be. Because if they stay at this level, you're not going to feel good. It just is what it is. You could probably get through your day and do what you got to do, because that's how people are wired. I was like that. I know other people that were like that too. And you see the numbers, you're like, oh my God. But at that point, you're just not going to be optimal. You're not going to feel your best. So what do? This is where I would probably look at possibly doing testosterone. Now you're going to say, well, I'm trying to have kids. And these doctors are telling me that I should not be on testosterone. I'm trying to have kids. Well, the way that we do protocols here at Titan Medical Center is that you would go on testosterone to raise that number. You would also go on something to make sure that that signal from your brain to your testicles does not get shut off, because that's what happens. When you start introducing testosterone from a foreign source, your body starts picking that up, and that signal from your brain to your testicles gets shut off. It gets shut down. And basically your testicles go on a vacation and they go through atrophy, shrinkage, low semen production, and testosterone gets cut cold. That's why people that stop their cycle, they just don't do anything after that. They crash and their numbers suck and they feel like garbage. So once you do this the right way with testosterone, and you would probably do enclomiphene as a backup of what we would pair with that. And then most likely a nashazole, which is an aromatase inhibitor. This is something that you can stay on for as long as you want. Do you have to stay on for the rest of your life? The answer to that is no. But if you want to feel your best, it's going to be yes. That's just the true, cold, hard facts of it all. I get that question every single day. Do I have to stay on this for the rest of my life? And I'd say the exact same that I just told you. You don't. But if you want to feel the best, you're going to do that. If not, your levels are going to go down. And what happens is this: your levels just don't go down to where they were before. Every year, you're losing at least 1% or more of your testosterone levels. So either way, you're going to decrease and start feeling worse and worse and worse as you age. The other thing is your body is going through all these changes on the inside, like, oh, we're deficient in all these different things, causes more health problems and issues. So it's better to fix the problem at the root of the source, get it fixed, stay on it, do what we're saying to do, and you'll be happy. You'll have a great quality of life. You'll be able to have as many kids as you want, because as long as you're doing the protocol that we're putting in place, you're going to have plenty of semen production. You're not going to be infertile. Infertile is like a myth of testosterone. It doesn't make you infertile, okay? It lowers semen production because your testicles get shut off and there's nothing to produce. So at that point, if you do this correctly, you're going to have all the benefits and all the upside without any of the downside. The other caveat to this, and I'll be done with it, is that let's say down the road, a health problem occurs, something goes on, financial, whatever it is, and you need to get off testosterone. Is there a right way to do it? Absolutely. And we have that protocol where we can help you get off and at least try to go back to your natural numbers. But like I said, as that goes on, those numbers are going to go lower and lower and lower.
So for this guy, well, he's trying to have the baby, stay on this right now, have the baby, and then look into TRT afterwards. Yeah.
Well, he can go on TRT too, Mike. That's what I was saying. Like, if he goes on TRT, I know a lot of doctors, oh, you cannot be. Listen, if you have that signal going from your brain to your testicles, you're producing semen. Your testicles are working just like it needs testosterone getting built. So at that point, it's an added benefit. It will add on one. It'll definitely make you feel better for sure. It will definitely help with lean body mass and all that. So it'll enhance your TRT instead of you taking just testosterone, having your balls shut off. Now you have no semen production. Your testosterone is going to be zero when you start back or crash. So you do it the right way, you get all the benefits with no downside. You do it the wrong way, you get a whole bunch of negative side effects you'll have to deal with.
Also, just talk to your doctor too, because he's the one that I'm assuming prescribed this. So thanks, Johnny. I didn't know that you could mix it.
So all our patients through the years have done that. all of them, and we've had in the at least 20s, I think, of babies that Titans produced. So guaranteed, like it works.
What we got here?
Jump on the Olympic rings. Great for judo.
Badass. Haven't been on rings in a long time, my friend.
Even my shoulders, I can still do some rings.
Nice.
Yeah. I always like to test that out. Hopefully my arm won't rip off. Any tips for dealing with anterior elbow pain, mostly when engaging biceps? This is what I would go with. Our Titan Wolverine stack, which is TB 500 and BPC 157, or maybe the recovery stack that adds KPV in it, which is also an enhancer for the healing peptides. It will help with inflammation, all these different things. And you have BPC and TB 500, like helping with most of the time it's golf elbow and tennis elbow to the extent, but sometimes people get little tweaks in their elbows or their wrists or whatever it may be, and this will definitely help. Usually, take it anything anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks, might be up to 12 depending on how bad the injury is. I heard someone saying doing dips works the core lower back. I mean, I guess you tighten up your lower back, but I don't understand how it would be working out that, right?
Jeez Louise. Wow. Whoever you heard that from, punch him in the face.
Oh my God.
Uh-uh.
I'm 32.
All right. I'm 32. Been serious about lifting since I was 16. Trained for 6 days a week for a long time. Not anymore since 3 years. I always go to failure, as in no reps in the tank or form gets wacky. Is that good? I was 16. So you've been lifting since you've been 16. Trained for 6 days. Not anymore since 3 years. So what are you training right now? Are you training 3 days a week, 2 days a week? What are you doing here? And I mean, you always go to failure. So every set you go to failure. I don't know about that. I don't know. That's probably not the best game plan to do, or that's not what I do anyway. Maybe Mike has some different information for you, but for me, I would focus on 10 to 12 reps and what you can do, 70, 80%. Keep going up, going in like a pyramid type stance where you keep raising the weight a little bit, just a little bit. And I mean, progressive overload. I mean, at that point, I don't know. I've seen so much different stuff out there, but I try to go with the old school ways because at that point, most of those old schoolers built their body without any of the garbage, any of the science, any of the great recovery, anything like that. If you imagine one of these guys training back in the day and me going back in a time machine and bringing some of the great stuff that I got right now, whether it would be peptides or true cryo or whatever, these guys would be insane. Could you imagine that, Mike? Going back there and like getting one of these guys and like, all right, look, this is what we're really gonna do protocol wise, and this is what really works, like for sure. Like we know this, and you just start enhancing some of these guys. I mean, it would be crazy. Maybe I could do it with AI. I might try to do some of that, like some video or some pictures or something like that. Some of the old schoolers, but enhanced my way.
Hi there, my friend. You've been training for 16 years, if I remember, or been training a long time. You kind of answered the question for yourself, right? You've been training for 16 years, which would make you look probably pretty darn good. Mostly 6 days a week. You're the 1%. So I think you answered it for yourself. Does anybody want to figure out what I'm saying? Well, he should know by now. And I'm assuming because he doesn't have his picture there that it doesn't look up to par that he wants. And so this is not working. Here's the one thing that I always worry about when somebody says, I've been training for decades. There should be evidence of that. So there has to be a result of your effort. Okay, because exercise, again, is deterioration. If you're just going into the gym and just going through the motions, you're not recovering, you're not feeding the body. Your IGF is down in the tanker. Your T levels are rock bottom. It sounds good that you're working out, that you've been working out for decades, but you're just piling on stress to your body. And I think that's we go back to the gentleman before with the 126. Man, I'm glad he found out that his T level's at 126 because now he can fix that if he wants to do that now or after the baby, whatever he decides, but he can fix it. My friend, I would think that it's not the training is the problem. I think it's how you're eating, the mind approach to you 6 days a week, going to fatigue every day. I don't think anybody says that that's a reasonable thing. You're running your body into the ground. You just did. What do you see, Johnny?
Does Tight Medical work with disabled? We work with everybody. You can be disabled. You can be disabled veteran. We work with everybody. So at that point, all you have to do is just give a call or text 727-389-3220, nationwide service. Dear Mike, do you prefer ISO or barbell machine, and why?
Johnny, what do you prefer?
I like barbell. I like dumbbell.
What's ISO?
Machine.
Isometric? Yeah, what, like, I don't know.
I don't know what you mean by ISO on this.
You prefer
Because
I
you
don't know
or
what ISO is.
barbell. I don't know what that means.
Dumbbell?
Barbell machine, yeah.
Maybe he means dumbbell?
A dumbbell compared to a barbell?
I
They
like
both
a
can be
dumbbell.
used.
Yeah. Or does he mean a cage?
Barbell can be used. I like a dumbbell.
I like them all, my friend. That's the cool thing about weightlifting. You can use everything. You can use the dumbbells, barbells. You can isolate. Yeah, it's your paintbrush. What are you doing? What's the focus on that day?
Yeah.
And there's not one more than the other. Compound movements are usually straight bar for me. Secondaries, a lot of dumbbells. Machines, a lot of great machines.
There are. I like machines too.
Frothies. Some of these machines are way too easy nowadays.
Yeah.
They're making it way too.
All right.
Way too comfortable. And the stack is like,
Temples.
yeah.
All right. It says testosterone doesn't lower with age? ? So testosterone does lower with age. That's a fact. What about muscle memory? I mean, muscle memory will stay, but you start losing muscle as you age, unless you're taking care of yourself really well. Usually, that's what happens to get. But that's somebody that's not on like testosterone replacement therapy or some peptides per se, that's being able to keep on to that muscle mass. The problem is if it was a natural person per se, they would lose muscle mass over time. So at that point, you want to make sure you're out ahead of it. You're being proactive about your health. You're making sure that you're not losing this well-earned or kept muscle that you've had on your bodies, right? At that point, and just making sure you're blood testing. And that's where Tight Medical Center can help you guys nationwide too as well with blood testing. So we set up the blood test for you guys nationwide. You guys go in with this slip in your ID. It's super simple. You get the results back super fast. We can find out what's going on. You have a peace of mind what's going on. You can make an educated decision what you want to do with your health. You're not like pressured or you're not like contracted into doing anything with us. Just get the blood test done. That's the first step. I mean, at that point, you can see what's going on and listen, maybe everything's great. Maybe there's things that you need to fix. Maybe there's things in there that we need to send you to somebody else to look at because it comes back bad. And that's the truth of it. We really want to see what's going on because, nobody really knows what's really going on the inside until you do a blood test. And at that point, it's one of the best diagnostics you can do.
So middle age is 38 now, which is crazy to think. And that being said, I saw a beautiful post. A guy was having his birthday. He's a black belt in BJJ. And he says he always kind of goes back to being a white belt every decade. And he says, because of the fact that it's a new body and he has to learn to work with that new body. And I thought that was a very interesting and brilliant analogy. And this question here, yes, your testosterone, especially if you're not taking care of yourself, lowers.
Yeah.
You age, you get older, you get aches. All this stuff happens. Memory muscle, cool thing. But again, that's for the guy that goes back to eating right and training right. That's going to be there for you. But I recommend go get your blood work and find out what you're doing. And this has to do with the guy that earlier that said he's 32 and he's been training 16 years or something. Get your blood work done. See if that 32-year-old, because you're closing in on that middle age, if the body's still working like it did 10 years ago.
Yep.
You want me to click on some of these, Jeffrey? You want to
Hit
do?
the starboard.
Some good ones in there.
In the,
Oh, it just hit that. Yeah.
You
You don't want me to hit the other ones? Because I've been close on a couple, huh? We did that. Oh,
Hey, Mike, thank you for your knowledge. You meet Mona. How did you know she was the one for you? Yeah, Mike, how'd you know?
what do you mean? I ordered her from Russia.
Well, I'm not even Russian.
She ain't.
Oh, there she
She don't like
is.
Russians.
Watch out, Mike. She's coming for you.
Uh,
All right. Any tips for dealing with? We did this for
We did
engagement
that.
concepts. Yeah, we do.
We did that one.
Little veterans.
almost done it.
we're almost caught up here.
What are your
There you go.
thoughts on a full body routine 3 days a week? Big three, chins and dips. If weight training isn't your primary focus and just want to improve body composition, I row 4 to 5 days a week, 10 to 12,000. I don't know. I mean, I've seen these the whole body workouts and stuff like that. I'm still like, man, I don't know. How can you do like literally chest, back, and then everything else? I do chest and back, and I'm done. And I know Mike wouldn't even do chest and back. He usually likes to separate those because of muscle groups. But at that point, I mean, you, listen. If you only got 3 days to work out, I guess do what you got to do and put in the work. But even at 3 days, you could literally split this up, and you could get everything you need in, and still row like you want to row. If you're trying to change your body composition, I mean, one, you want to not just lose weight with the rowing because you're getting some cardiovascular, but I guess you're getting some sort of resistance to a certain extent with the rows. So that's good, at that point, back and all that is going into it. So that's kind of like a full body type thing. Just make sure, I guess, at that point, like you're working out the other muscles that you really aren't on those days. And I would switch back to like 2 big muscles or 2 groups every day. So if you're doing like back and chest, biceps, triceps, and then do leg and core days, and then at that point, like maybe throw some shoulders in there, if you could do that. That's tough. I would probably be throwing that arm day, but that's what I would do.
Great job. I mean, you found something that you like and you're doing it. I would just worry about that you're doing the rowing and you're burning a lot of calories, which is great job, and you're working out. And then you're doing the same thing in the gym. You're just doing a lot of reps, right? So I would try to stimulate the body differently. If you're going to do the high cardio, try to do some just weightlifting to keep your body intact. That's what I would recommend. But you're having fun. You're doing your thing, man. And at the end of the day, that's the golden ticket.
How's recovery looking for you? That's the question. Because it seems like, you're rowing 4 to 5 days a week, plus you're training 3 days a week. I mean, there's 7 days in a week. So that means you're overlapping training and rowing on the same days. So how's the recovery looking on that? Are you seeing any big differences in body composition, and how's that moving? How long have you been doing this routine too as well? That's the next question. So these are some of the things that would break down, and ask yourself, write it down, whatever it is, and start looking it over and say, am I really moving the needle? Because at that point you'd want to take some sort of measurements or some degree of what you're doing as far as body fat percentage wise and muscle mass. So there's a number of different, InBody machines. I don't really like InBody machines. I'm just being honest with you. I think that even the most calibrated ones that I've been on are off. When they're telling me I'm like 5 or 6 body fat percentage, I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm like that low as far as body fat percentage. Just not. I know that. So just make sure you're doing it. But even if you are doing it through that, you should still be able to move the needle. And if it's consistent with the machine or whatever you're doing it on, you should see some sort of improvement. And that's what I would look at. And then if your recovery is not there and you're not moving the needle, that's when I would look at maybe the blood test. It looks like, because you do have your picture up, and it looks like you're a lawyer. So at that point, you probably got your shit together. So, if you do, make sure all your levels are dialed in, all your hormones are dialed in, and then kind of look at the new latest and greatest, because it doesn't look like you're a 20-year-old spring chicken. It looks like, hey, you're middle aged just like me. So at that point, like, look for some different things to, have the cutting edge, especially if you have the resources to do it. That's the thing that really separates the ultra rich from the regular guy on the street. Is the ultra rich have super big resources that they can go to and get some of these crazy treatments that you're hearing about on the internet and be able to live a lot longer, repair themselves, or I don't know, become, I guess, a better version of themselves in one way, shape, or form.
Johnny's point is a great answer for anybody on this feed right now. All workout programs should be able to be measured on if you're moving forward. Just so you guys understand that. That's why you don't just go in and train. If you're not testing it every couple of weeks and understand you're moving forward or backwards. So that's a great one, Johnny. Nice job. Clip that, Jeffrey. Clip that. On the body scans, I love them. It's irrelevant on what my body fat is, but I just use the same thing over and over
Sure.
again, and it gives you an idea.
Sure.
You guys out there, if it says you're 20% body fat, like I'm walking around always, then that's what it is, and you just calculate that off back and forth. So I like those things. I like them. Little.
They're good.
little
I'll tell you
things.
what, like the one I had in the center, and it's got to be 12 years old now, but it's a brand that's only used by cardiology, and like it is precise to a T. And you can only get it if you're like medical practitioner. So at that point, like I might get an updated one because it was really awesome, and some of the new tech that you can do with it is crazy. So we'll see. All right. I super chatted you a while back. I'm the guy who did 16 sets for triceps, now doing 9 sets and recovering better and getting stronger. Thanks, Behemoth. That's awesome. See, he did less and he got more because he did it right.
It's a tough thing for a person to do. Nice
Well,
job.
You think you put in more work, you get more out, right? Because that's what you're always taught. You get what you put in, right? And and it just, it's not true in this category, like, right? Like you're killing yourself for nothing.
Yeah. And this statement here, for anybody that's on here, a couple guys earlier were saying that they go till fatigue. They go every workout, just balls to the wall. And again, this kind of goes with that. It's got to be a little bit more common sense. And I do understand, and I was young, I would, every workout, I'm the last man standing. That was the goal. It's not the best way to do it.
How do I get back into bodybuilding at 52? Well, you better get back to the 4 essentials. You better get that Titan blood test, get rolling, get yourself optimized, ready to rock and roll. We'll get you back on that stage super fast and feeling your best and probably looking your best. So, if that's what you really want to do, we're here for that. If you don't want to get on stage, you just want to look good and feel better, we're here for that too. We're here for everybody, and everybody's got different needs, different goals, and different things they're trying to achieve for their health. So at that point, we're here for everybody.
Nice job. 53, making the decision that he wants to do this, right? That's props, brother. I'm proud of you.
Yes.
Get back in there. Get your blood work done. First thing. Get on a power bodybuilding program and make sure the nutrition is right.
Yeah.
Go good to go.
After my hernia, C5, C6 touching spine, I lost 90% left arm strength. I bought dumbbells, 5 to 25 pounds. What would be the best exercise to gain strength in both arms? Thanks in advance. I mean, you're doing arm exercises, whether you're doing curls, you're doing tricep pull downs. I mean, that's how you're going to want to do it. I mean, if it's in the left arm, like you lost 90% of your left arm strength. So you're going to have to like train that left arm a lot more than what you would train the right arm, because if you've lost that much strength in there, it's going to be like you lifting 5 pounds and the other arm, you can be able to lift 25 pounds. And if you keep lifting 25 pounds in the other arm and 5 pounds in the other, on the bad arm, the big arm is going to keep getting bigger, and the small arm will start gathering some gains, but it's always going to look smaller.
Yeah, the nerves were damaged, huh? Yeah. So, what's the stim machine that we have upstairs?
It's called the New X.
New-X.
Yes.
Yeah. Get that. Put that on a couple times a day. I'm going to actually throw that on today. Yeah. That's get that body fired up again. Get the nervous system, the nerves going throughout one side. So that's my best recommendation. And then work off the weak side for the time being. Try to, if you can, a lot of barbell and force the strong side to chill a little bit as you strengthen that other side up. Learn to walk again.
You know what would be another good thing to add in there, David, is a Hercules potion. Inject that
Ooh.
into the bicep. You'll get more mind to muscle connection. You'll be able to regain. A lot of people do that, whether they get in accidents, they have surgeries, they have, they break their leg, whatever it is. Especially if you break your leg, your femur or something like that, or just a leg in general. At that point, you're gonna have a cast on it. It's gonna go and it's gonna start, it's gonna start losing muscle. You're gonna start going through some wasting there to a certain degree. And at that point, you're gonna have to gain it back. So that's the way that you can really do it. Inject Hercules potion, train that arm, train a little bit more, start getting it caught up to the other arm. And at that point, you'll be ready to rock and roll all the way through and through. Hey, Mike, are all your training below 6 reps range?
On compounds.
What are the benefits to reverse grip bench press?
Sick triceps.
Different angle too. Guess it feels a little bit different going up. I've been lifting for a long time, but never trained for fighting. Does your gym strength help at all in fighting? Well, I'm sure it's going to help. It doesn't mean that you're going to win, though. I mean, think about it. If you can lift the guy up, or you can get on top of him, push his arms down. I guess I don't know. What do you think, Mike? You think strength has anything to do with real fighting?
I think strength is great. I think technique is great. I think technique with strength is unbeatable.
Yes, agreed. Hey, Mike, I'm having serious insomnia. I'm stuck on a parasympathetic nervous system and can't calm down and relax to recover properly. Any help? Yes. So we got 2 different things for you. One are Titan Serenity, L-theanine, magnesium, and taurine. It's natural injectable, or also our DSIP, Delta Sleep Inducing Peptide. This will not just help you sleep better, but it will relax you. It will help the nervous system calm down. Either one of these are excellent for this, especially for this. So, if you're having social anxiety, you're having serious problems and anxiety with this will definitely help.
Yeah, that's Titan Serenity. That's a gold one.
Game changer. Should I do cardio on a bulk? I don't like gaining fat around my midsection. I mean, I don't know. I don't do cardio at all. I can't comment on this, Mike. No matter if it's a bulk or shredding, I'm not doing any cardio. So I'm gonna have to start, guys. Not for shredding up, but just for cardiovascular health.
I just like the fact that he said it's just the waistline. He doesn't want to gain the fat.
What about on your face or anywhere else? Because people they're so like, I don't want to do my midsection. So listen, get testosterone. It'll attack visceral belly fat, but I mean, the subcutaneous fat is not going to be there. So I don't know. I mean,
I hear you, my
focus on your stomachs.
I would say don't bulk. If you don't want to put on size and stuff, then don't bulk. That's the only benefit I can say. Perspective.
Hey, should I bulk? I don't want to get bulky.
I mean, that's basically what he's saying.
What?
I want to bulk, but I don't want to get bulky. You're trying to put on size, my friend. It goes with the territory. It's okay.
I mean, if you're going for the unicorn effect of gaining mass and still staying somewhat lean, there's no problem. I think you can do that. It's just going to go a lot slower if you do it like that. But you got to increase calories. So at that point, if you're increasing calories, Mike, do you think somebody could stay lean and gain muscle by doing that? If they're increasing calories, if their body's going through 3,000, 4,000 calories, maybe up to 5,000, I don't know how lean they'll stay, but let's say that does happen. Do you think they can gain?
Is the point to put on muscle? the points to put on muscle, do testosterone, do some AOD. That way you can up the calories and still keep a great lean look.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to raise the calories, guys.
Yeah.
There is just and also remember this, you have a period of time where you can put on muscle, a good amount of muscle. And that's usually your youth. And what I find is a lot of these questions, I have a feeling these are very young people going, I don't want to use my youth to put on size, but you got to keep it for a lifetime. So that was the greatest thing that I'm glad I, at 14, 15, got to 275 pounds. And then I just keep it for a lifetime and just tighten it up, tighten it up. So keep it for a lifetime.
Invest your money early.
Invest your money early, as Jeffrey just said.
Yep. How does one learn your routine? I only been working out a year.
I just get on the program, then you'll understand it. You'll understand there's a reason why there's sets and reps.
Yes.
And it's not just 3 or 4 sets or what it is, or there's a reason why there's called volume. There's a reason why there's deload. There's a reason why you do a percentage of the lifting.
Yep.
Yeah, just get on it.
What do you suggest optimal test levels to be adjusted to? 1,000? I mean, it
25
just depends.
at Gold's. On a low dose, it's 25 Gold's.
Yeah. So, it depends on what labs you're looking at. Let's say it's LabCorp, 964 is the top there. I like to see people, I'm just being honest with you. I would say, 1,000 to 1,500. I think that's good. I think that's really good. Now, some people might say, well, that's kind of high. And you know what? By what our later or earlier generations were at, and I'm not even talking about like crazy. I'm talking about 70s, 80s. We need to be about that number because
Right.
that's what about those guys are about. So
Let's
that's
go.
natural.
Gold, the same thing, but IGF. What are some great numbers for IGF?
That depends on what the age is of the person, because the age will determine, and usually the older you are, the lower the top of the range is coming down. So I mean, listen, if it was LabCorp for anybody, I would say 280 to 300. If you're at 350, you're balling. At 400, you're starting, and you're using something else to get it up that high. But I would say 280 to 300. I think that you're going to do really well. You're going to recover faster. You want to be above the range if you can get above the range. Like in growth hormone levels, and you don't want to be too high, but you want to be above the range. And if you can be above the range, you're going to get a hell of a lot of benefits that you would not see without it.
Okay, so we're going to go 300.
Yeah.
We'll go 300 on that.
Even 3.
An even 3. Yeah.
I like 3.
Get that IGF up there, folks.
Oh, this was a question we had on the question box on stories. Guys, What do you think about DHEA?
Ooh.
What kind
do
of
you think?
DHEA?
But explain the difference, if there is. What
Is there
does John?
topical? Is that what the question was?
It was generic, but he probably means the capsules.
Let's go capsules. Let's just do our own question here.
Okay.
So what do you think of DHEA?
DHEA is good for usually somebody that needs DHEA. Usually, you don't find too many people out there that need DHEA. That's why we don't test it on guys. And if they have low testosterone, you put them testosterone. Usually, DHEA goes up. For females, usually when you see low testosterone, they usually have low DHEA. You would prescribe testosterone first, not testosterone DHEA. If you do that, what we've seen through the years is every time that you do that, girls break out. It's too much. So it's too much hitting them at one time. And at that point, they're going to call you complaining that they're breaking out. You know how girls get, especially about breaking out on their face. So at that point, once you introduce testosterone, see how it goes. If they're still having some, not feeling so good things, usually retest for DHEA. And if it's low, then you introduce DHEA at usually like 25 milligrams. And 25 milligrams does really good for a female. And usually females, you're going to see in like the 200, 300 range for DHEA. Guys, usually DHEA is really good. Like if you test DHEA with most guys, they're usually going to have it, especially if testosterone levels are good. If the guys need DHEA and let's say they are low, usually it's a 50 milligram per day thing. And at that point, that's what they take.
I think this is a great question.
Sure. I'm 35. Will blood tests help me figure out what foods work better for me? So yes, and I know this guy I think he had a follow-up to this too as well. So let me tell you how a blood test will help you figure out what foods work best for you. So we can run different blood tests through LabCorp on different foods. It's a food sensitivity test. And it'll tell you what foods that you're having sensitivities or allergies to. So at that point, if you have a diet, and I think this guy was talking like avocados or something like that, and his other thing, you can literally put in whatever your diet is. So let's say Mike writes a diet for you, right? And it contains chicken, white rice, fish, beef, carrots, I don't know, and that bananas. We could test just for those things, right? And at that point, see what's going to come back as. Do you have a sensitivity to allergen to this or not? Because some people get on a diet and they might start bloating, and they're like, "Well, why am I bloating? What is making me bloat?" And usually, this is what that test would run, and you can find out what's making you bloat because you're having sensitivity to it.
Would also the regular blood test, if somebody that knows how to read blood tests, also go off of the LDL?
Absolutely. So, like, even if you weren't going to run those tests, how do you work and see what foods work best for you? So, if you're on a diet per se, and let's say Mike wrote this diet for you, and then you're blood testing, you're like, man, my HDL went up. That's your good cholesterol. My LDL went down. My triglycerides are in range. My total cholesterol is in range. Then we know, hey, listen, this diet is working very well for you, right? As long as you're good with it. Now, I've seen some people that they have great cholesterol, they have great HDL, LDL, but they eat like garbage. And I'm just like, well, that diet is probably not the best for you. But I mean, your cholesterol looks good, so I can't say, hey, listen, it's affecting you negatively here, but it might be affecting you negatively in other places. So it's really like maybe sugar levels per se, or A1C per se. Just it all depends. But yeah, I mean, there's a number of different ways you could tell from a blood test if foods are going to work better for you or not.
That's a great way to look at it too. Great question, my friend.
We know this one. Mike likes ISO. Testosterone, yeah. With the chest press machine arching back essential or for better chest growth? I don't think so. With a chest press machine. Lost my job 2 weeks ago. Was able to find another one, and power bodybuilding and tight meal plan have been such an incremental part of my mental health. Thank you, coach. That's awesome. Big win, big win. And good job at finding another job so quick. Mike, on incline bench, do you need to touch it for optimal strength gains? Shoulders aren't so good, so I never touch chest. Thoughts? I don't.
I don't care about strength gains. I care about range of motion.
Yeah.
And so if you're older and there's something going on there, I would try to find a different position to where you can try to get a good range of motion.
Yeah.
So
honestly, yeah. I mean, even coming out to the sides like this with incline for me now is working a lot better than I guess. I don't know.
dropping the elbows.
Yeah. What would be better for skull crushers? Curl bar or the regular 45-pound dumbbell? I feel more with the regular.
Well, they both have their benefits.
Yeah.
Keep them both. So again, you're asking a question where that's not weightlifting. You don't find one thing and go, that's it. I'm done. I'm only going to do high bar squats the rest of my life. That's not how this works, guys. Dumbbells or barbell. It doesn't work that way. You use them both. Machines or free weights. You use them both. That's the cool thing about weightlifting. Your body's going to change. You want to change. You want to stay ahead of it. And again, here's a tough one for you. It's not what you're great at. It's what you're not good at that you should be working on.
What's the best way to break a plateau? I've been stuck at 425 bench for months. Well, 425 pounds, that's a good amount of weight, bro, for sure. Mike would be better to tell you about this at that weight, man, for sure. I mean, but What do you
Yeah.
think, Mike? I mean, at that point, for somebody who's benching 425 pounds, I mean, that's a good amount.
Well, if you're doing a power program right now, so I would be all the assistance stuff that you're doing, the floor press, the partials, the block press, the overloads, all those things are going to help. Yeah, and then just pick a different weight over this next 9 weeks. Pick a bench of 450, and then start working off the percentages there for the next 9 weeks, and you'll crush it. That's the cool thing about it. It's like you're never in a plateau. Plateau is a good game, but you have to be smarter. You got to go, okay, now I just regroup, set it up, go better.
I'm 52 in great shape. What can I do to help stiffness in the joints, shoulders, hips, and knees? BPC,
Ooh.
TB500, KPV for sure. These are great. Even collagen, GHKCU would be good with this for sure. There's a couple different things that you could really do. Even growth releasing hormone peptides for the joints and stuff like that can definitely help. So, if you're looking for something like that, we can definitely help out in those areas for sure.
Yeah, you're 52 and in great shape, so stay ahead of it, just
Yeah.
like you're doing. Now, see, again, I like this because there is a response to the effort that he's put in, and I can see that in his physique right there.
Yep.
And he's still healthy, he's still doing it. So,
Yep.
props.
Sure.
Good job, kid.
Fastest, quickest way to get your blood work done with y'all. Can you break that down, please? Website, the process exactly how y'all and legit. So we're super legit. We've been doing this for 13 years plus, and this will be 14 going on this year. It's super simple, super easy to do. You can either call or text 727-389-3220, or you can go right on the website, titanmedicalcenter.com, and click on blood test now, and then you get the blood test there. Or you call or text, and one of the staff members will get you going there. How simple and easy it is to do. It's super simple, super easy. You give some of your demographics, your name, your telephone number, email address, phone number. You'll get the price. So it's usually $200. We'll give $50 off because of Mike. So it's $150 for your full in-depth blood test. They can go through those tests for you of what they are. And at that point, it covers a CMP, a comprehensive metabolic panel, complete blood cell count, your full, LDL, HDL ratio, total cholesterol, triglycerides. It will also go over your prostate. It will also go over full thyroid, TSH, T3, T4, free and total testosterone, estradiol, progesterone, growth hormone levels, and B12 levels. If you want to do food allergy testing, it's usually like $8 a test. So you can pick whatever you want as far as food wise if you want to do that too as well. Hemoglobin A1C would be an extra $25, and that would be a 3-month average of your sugar levels. Definitely recommended. I think that's a good one, and vitamin D is also a good one to look at too. All right. Should I start 5-AR inhibitors at the same time I start TRT in order to prevent prostate and hair loss problems? Well, I mean, you start taking those, you're going to start having some different issues possibly too. So, I would look into the benefits outweighing the negatives. Would I take it when starting it? Probably not. Prevent prostate cancer? That's where we really got to start looking, guys, because that's a myth. TRT, testosterone, does not directly affect prostate cancer. So that they've said this. The FDA said this now. This is something that people would think, because DHT can raise your prostate, and sometimes at that point those correlate. But DHT, is not directly. It is, I guess, directly affected by TRT, but usually those ranges can stay low. If you want to take one, great. But like I said, there does come with negative side effects that come with it. Hey, Mike, my question is, every time I begin bulking and begin lifting pretty heavy, it feels like my body is falling apart. For examples, shoulders are killing me, back is spasming, I have no time to take off. I feel like I've been hit a wall. What should I do differently? I feel like my body has a limit, but I could have more if I didn't get hurt. Oh, I think you're muted.
I am muted. So on this, the great thing about it is it's your nervous system that's speaking to you. And I know what you mean. I feel the same way, my friend. But that's why it's often a percentage of what your goal max is going to be. And that's why it does get tough, but there is a period piece, I guess we would call it, where your body's getting used to the volume that you're doing and the weights that you're doing. And it adjusts. And when it does adjust, it gets into another level. So make sure that you're doing it correctly, not just lifting heavy. There's a reason why I've never been hurt. There's a reason why I'm still strong. It's a percentage. So you just be a little smarter on that. Start the power bodybuilding program today. That will set you up to win over the next 9 to 12 weeks.
I'm 53, been working out for 30 years. My body hurts less, energy level less, drive. What peptides would be best for my situation? Body hurts, less energy, less. You need to do a blood test, and you definitely need to look at your hormones. At 53 years old, I would definitely look at testosterone levels for sure. And if the body's still hurting and those are good, then that's when I would start looking at maybe BPC, TB500. I would definitely look at maybe some MOTS-c or some SS31, something that helps drive the mitochondria too as well. So there's a couple different ways, but we need to know more information from you on these other things for sure. But if you want some help and getting a personalized regimen to really optimize and to take care of some of these different things, we can help you out.
One more, Johnny.
Sure. Ever since I started testosterone, I've gained fat around my midsection. I've been ripped my whole life when I was natty. What's going on? So here's the question.
That's not, he's just pulling your leg.
I don't know. No, this happens.
This is the same guy earlier that says when he bulks, he doesn't want to get fat around his waist. Yeah.
Well, I'll answer the question because I do get this question from people, and there
Do you
is
really?
a reason why. So the reason is this: depending on where you get your testosterone from or what you do. So if you go to your general practitioner, you've had two clinically deficient testosterone levels, insurance covers it, you got testosterone. So the doctor wrote testosterone for you. You're taking 200 milligrams a week. You start taking 200 milligrams of testosterone a week. You've took it for the first month. You start feeling really good. You're like, man, this is great. Now, after that, what starts to happen? You start having aromatase and you start converting testosterone to other hormones. Usually this will convert into estrogen. When it converts into estrogen, you'll start getting more fat deposits on the body, more emotional, more sensitive, and I'm telling you, so you'll feel sluggish too, and then erections start coming into play. So at that point, water retention comes into play, and this is what usually does happen, Mike. So usually people are like, I'm on testosterone, but I'm not losing weight. Why? And then we start like really peeling it back and saying, well, what are you taking for real? Like, I'm just taking testosterone. And then we're like, oh, okay. Well, I would say 99% of guys out there that take testosterone, 200 milligrams or more, are usually going to aromatize. Some guys are more sensitive to the aromatase and have a lot more worse problems. Even guys that don't have too much of a sensitivity still convert. So it's something that you might need to block. It's something that where somebody might need one dose of an aromatase inhibitor and some other guy needs a totally different dose. Or at that point, like anastrozole is our most commonly prescribed aromatase inhibitor. But sometimes guys need to step up from that and they go to letrozole, which is a suicide aromatase inhibitor, which is super powerful. So it just really depends on the person. But most of the time, when you're just taking testosterone, you're gonna start having those negative side effects that start coming up. And that's the reason why you don't lose weight when you're just taking testosterone by itself.
Well, that sounds scary. But wait a minute, hold on for a second. If you're doing the T, wouldn't you be continuously getting blood work? And this would also tell you what's going on there, so it's not scary?
Well, if you're going through Titan Medical Center, yes, you're going to get monitored. You're going to make sure you do blood testing. But
There
if you
you
go to some of these clinics, they're only going to baseline test you, and then they're going to wait a whole year to test you again. And if you go to a general practitioner, they're really not going to look at estrogen or estradiol, and they're just going to focus on the testosterone and say you're fine. So at that point, I would definitely look at getting it done the right way, making sure you're getting monitored. you know, people think it's like, oh man, like I don't have to do a blood test for a whole year. And you're like, dude, like that's a disservice to you, bro. Like you want to see what's going on, you know, inside a year with your blood test and see what's really going on 3 to 6 months afterwards. And if there's something going on negative wise, you really want to get that tested like immediately to find out what the hell is going wrong and fix it as fast as possible.
I said something earlier, like I like the body scans, you know, because it kind of gives me an idea of where I'm at. Am I moving forward or backwards?
Yep.
And I love blood work because every 3 months I can see what's going on and what's not going on.
Absolutely.
It's an interesting thing that somebody would actually not want to know what's going on inside the engine now.
Yep. Yep.
And mostly when it's just so easy. It takes us 15 minutes to go over there, get our blood work done, and it's done. It's back, which is great. Titan Medical has, I don't know, man, VIP service back within a week, and you can kind of look over your numbers going, hey, everything looks great, healthy.
Absolutely.
Body's working fine. It's great. Guys, thanks for hanging out today.
Appreciate it, man. As always.
Andreas,
Yes, sir.
I just want to say thank you. If John doesn't say thank you enough, I'm saying thank you.
It does.
And then
Wait,
we'll
let's not
see
forget
you.
Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
I'll forget Jeff.
Thanks for
Right.
Jeff.
Forget Jeff. He's out squatting me.
He's not here.
And then
There he is. He's there. What's up?
13 days till your birthday.
13 days.
Yes.
It's gonna be crazy.
Woo!
Peter got a game tonight. Gonna be crazy. Hopefully he does well. We'll see.
He's gonna win.
See.
Gonna win.
See, it's gonna be crazy.
He's on, right?
Huh?
He's on. He's pitching.
Oh, he's on tonight. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me know how it goes.
I definitely will. I definitely will.
You look at Johnny's got the black card. One of them doesn't give me no cards.